First is compassion. When you really stick to being compassionate, if you take the view, am I being compassionate with the other person? The whole concept of right or wrong disappears. If a child makes a mistake and the mother says, I'm gonna forgive him. Because of that pure love, forgiveness comes from within automatically. But what triggers that forgiveness? A sense of compassion. It's okay. He or she just made a mistake. If there was no compassion within, forgiveness is not possible. So when you're trying to forgive and you're unable to forgive, that means you're not being compassionate to the other person and to yourself. If you forgive yourself, you'll also forgive the other person. There was an old lady once. She helped a monk all his life do his meditation and practices and austerities and all that. 20 years went by. This monk was now well into his mid-30s. So she sent a very young woman to the monk. She said, I want you to go to the monk and tell him that you are greatly depressed, that you are going through a lot of problems in your life, and that you need some company, you need some love, and you need some warmth. So she went there, and the monk saw the woman. And the woman said, I'm really, really depressed. Can you please give me a hug? He said, go, run away. Don't you know? I'm a monk. I'm not supposed to come near you. Go away. Your problem is your problem. Find the solution elsewhere. I'm not your solution. And he sent her away with utter coldness in his behavior, with a certain rudeness in his voice. So she goes back. She went back to the old lady. The old lady asked her what happened. And she said, well, he didn't even let me come near him. He rejected me outright. And the old lady said, oh, he offered you no words of comfort? She said, no. She said, now please take this kerosene oil and burn down his hut with him in it. She said, all that meditation was sheer waste. He could not cultivate the most basic emotion of compassion. You really feel the pain of other people. I'm reminded of a little childhood incident, and one of my benchmarks, if something happened to my mother or my sister or my brother, I would always feel the pain, because the people you love, you want everything to go well with them. And sometimes my mother would ask that you are always going away for meditation, and what is more that you want to do? What is that for which you really want to go away? I said, even now, the pain I feel for those people who are not related to me is different to the pain I feel for those who are related to me. I want that difference to disappear. I want everybody's pain should feel equally painful to me. And this is the primary difference between being compassionate out of divinity and being compassionate out of attachment. To feel compassion for those to who you're attached, that's easy. That comes automatic. But to feel compassion for those who've got nothing to do with you, that's real compassion. That's divine. If you aim for that compassion, the other compassion will rise itself to such a level that you will never ever get angry at your own people. The one who live with you within those four walls, the one who are related to you by blood or other relationships. I was talking to somebody earlier, and it is also a common thing I've heard, that you're able to control when you step out of the house. You're able to keep your anger in check. But at home something happens and you set yourself free. Not like a bird, but more like a bomb. And this one can go off many times. Why does that happen? Because you're free at that time. And also because you have taken your relationship for granted. You have this firm faith that I can shout, I'll still be together with this person tomorrow. When you take things for granted, when you take anything for granted, you immediately lose sight of its value and of its price. If you cannot value anything, how can you keep it? You will, rather than discarding anger, you're happy to discard the person at that time. You can well imagine of a garbage bin and imagine the person putting in that bin as opposed to putting away your anger. So the first core value, the first core positive emotion is compassion. Next time you're angry and you want to tell the person that you know what you mean, when you want to give it back, regardless of your opening fire or returning fire, ask yourself, am I being compassionate?